All I need is one mic, one mic, one mic. Do, 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 do. All I need is one mic, one mic, one mic. Do, 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 do. All I need is one mic, one mic, one mic. That's all I ever needed. All I need is one mic. Y'all don't pay me no mind. That's literally how I test my microphone before I get on here. I usually just sing a song. And on top of that, Homegirl don't got no theme music. I ain't got no intro music. So I figured, shout out to Nas. That was a classic. Anywho, welcome to the Eyam Queen Podcast. Round of applause, round of applause, round of applause. Well, here we believe in blending spirituality with practicality, healing with common sense, and growth with a sprinkle of love. Okay? Now, y'all know around these parts, besides we pop them dollars. Okay? I'm sorry, they came to buy. My ADHD get the best of me. Around these parts, we believe in sage. We do believe in being protective, boundaries, Jesus, and therapy. And most of all, if you're an adult, especially if you got kids, a good nap is needed. Shout out to the naps. Okay, round of applause for a good nap if you can get one. It's your girl, the one and only. I'm your host with the most. I am Queen, aka AJ, aka to a few, a dub, aka that girl is silly, aka Mrs. Fix Her Mic, because I stay fixing it. I keep messing with this mic. Anywho, y'all, with that being said, so grab your tea, your snacks, your journal, your pens, your recorder, whatever you want to grab, and let's get through tonight. Let's get into what we came here to do, Craig. Okay. Now, so before we get into it, how are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Please be bold and brave. You want to put it in the comment section because we do care. We want to build a community around here. And so I think it's important to always touch bases, do a mental or mood check, if you will, to see how are you doing. Me. I'm cool. I'm hanging like a ceiling fan. You already know. I'm in there like swimwear. Okay. But for me, I'm cool. This week has been, it's in the middle of the week, but we're going to keep pushing. For those of you that may not know, I am currently on my weight loss journey. And let me tell you, baby girl, it is a journey. It is definitely a journey. Okay. So I found out months prior that I am a diabetical. Yes. Your girl found out she's a diabetical, but it is inherited. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, that was one of my generational gifts of being a diabetic. And so I just been, boots on the ground, really trying to be proactive with my health. Your health is your wealth. And if you ain't got your health, you ain't got your wealth, because how you going to spend it if you can't manage it? You know what I'm saying? So homegirl been waking up 4 day in the butt crack of morning. Taking care of myself, weight training 3-4 times a week, doing boot camp cardio on the weekend, and just been eating healthy. And that's the part that's really difficult if we're gonna talk about it. Like, carbs can sometimes be the devil. Like I'm telling you, like, carbs is so hard not to eat, but I pray. I just try to, most importantly, I just want to be here long for my kids. You know what I'm saying? I really want to be here for my children as long as possible. So I just got to do what I got to do. And it's paying off. I had a doctor appointment, and the doctor said, hey, You're doing it. You're doing the doggone thing. So of course, in my style, I just started tootsie rolling, right in the doctor's office, and she just bust out laughing. So I'm glad my doctor is cool like that. Um, so I'm glad that everything is everything, and I'm glad I'm losing the weight. I'm just letting you know now, the more weight I lose, the more I'm gonna be on your timeline. Especially for my birthday, I'm gonna be bikini top J's and or it could be bikini top and snow boots. It just depends on how I feel. If I get them Tatiana abs, yeah, I just want you to know I'm gonna be fucking up your timeline. That's all I got to say about that. Anywho, so tonight I thought that we would talk about adulting while healing. Like, most people don't really get into all it takes to adult and heal at the same time. In fact, most people, while they're adulting, really don't want to go into too much healing. Like, a lot of people be cool. They be like, I'm good on that. Like, I done, whatever that got passed on to me at this point, it is what it is. Take me as I am, Mary J. Blige. Like, just accept me for who I am. But adulting while healing is itself so difficult because the bills don't stop. If you got children, being a parent don't stop. It's just, especially if your parents of age, now you got to be their parent, pretty much. As you get older, it's just a whole lot. And then in all of that, you're trying to process what the hell you done went through. So that it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I know for me that my journey in particular, for me being as young as I am, you can't tell me I didn't live multiple lifetimes. You cannot tell me that I did not live multiple lifetimes because of all the shit that I've endured. And then for the first half of my adulthood, I didn't process shit. Like, it was just like whoop de doo doo doo, walking down a yellow brick road, like whatever. And when I had my first spiritual awakening, as a spiritualist like to call it, and it's basically a coming to Jesus moment. It's like aha, like, oh, that didn't make sense. Wait a minute. What happened? Like, you finally, your brain is catching up to your experience. And, it's just interesting how you kind of live life and then compare like what you've experienced and how it all like makes sense as to why you operate the way you do, or think the way you do, or respond or react the way you do. It's just really interesting, and I've learned a lot, especially when I went to school. Like, I learned that no matter where you are, life is just gonna life. Like, especially when you're in college, like, there is no stop pause while you are trying to get your education. But then if you want to take it a step further, and that's part of adulting. Being an adult is, I try to tell my kids all the time, it's so not easy. It is by far so challenging because on one side, you would think adulting, you would be mature in a lot of ways. But to be honest, if you haven't processed nothing, if you haven't really reflect on what you've experienced, you're not gonna get nowhere near mature. You're gonna just be a grown ass child, pretty much. Like, you just gonna be this big ass kid, which most are, and it is very interesting to, as you become more self-aware, and everybody on different wave paths of their life. Some people are more self-aware than others. But what I do know is that the more self-aware you become, the more you start connecting dots from what you've experienced. And it's so surreal to me. Like, how I interact with my kids, how I interact with my friends, how I interact with people that I love and care about, or the people that I don't really fool with. Like, it all goes back to what I've experienced. It all just aligns with what I've experienced. And I self reflect a lot. Like, I know that I need to give my brain a rest, but I self reflect so much because I am constantly seeking evolution. I'm constantly trying to figure out how I can be better than I was yesterday. And trying to connect the dots while being an adult is so difficult. As I've stated, it is just really, really difficult in trying to make it all make sense. So it is a process, it is a process trying to unpack. Because again, one time I had this therapist who told me that most people, they don't unpack or process, they don't process, let alone unpack anything. And she really complimented me on how focused I was towards not just getting past the trauma that I experienced, but how brave I was to stand in the uncomfortability of the trauma itself. And so some people they don't do that. They don't want to face it. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to relive it. They just compartmentalize it and act like it never happened. And I asked her why. I was like, why is that a thing? Why do people store it in their mind and then leave it there? And so she was like, because imagine someone who is sleepwalking and you try to wake them up. And then more than likely they're going to attack you. More than likely they're going to want to fight you because you woke them up. And some people are just not ready to be woken up. Some people would feel more comfortable not unpacking anything. And I'm like, wow, like, that is scary in itself, to know that as an adult, you don't want to, and I get it, like, you don't want to relive things that hurt, because how the brain is wired to protect you from experiencing things that are just essentially uncomfortable. However, it's just interesting how most people, or some people, don't really want to deal with certain things. But I've learned from my experience, if you deal with certain things and you face it head on, it's a beautiful aftermath of that. Because as you heal a lot and you recognize and you accept and you get to a place of peace about a lot of things, you just come out so much better. And I know that sounds so crazy, but I compare it to fighting. Like, and maybe you may know this, but boxers tend to break their knuckles a lot, so they are able to throw a good punch. They break their knuckles a lot. Ballerinas, they break their toes, they break their ankles. Like, you gotta break something in order for the skin, for the bone to harden, for it to get stronger. And if you don't go through anything and then you don't reflect from anything, if you don't allow yourself to feel at the devastation, the pain, the uncomfortableness, the realness of what you experience, then how are you going to face life? How are you going to navigate through life? You're going to be like wet paper. Like you just go, you know what I'm saying? You just going to fall apart. And so it's just interesting, you know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to adulting with that, it's like you have to find a balance between growing and healing at the same time. Like you got to find your pace. And I just don't know. I just thought that was it's just interesting for people to well, for us, I'm talking about it's interesting for people, like I'm not human, but it's just interesting to have to experience life and then like trying to play catch up. And then I also think about our parents. Those of us are, I'm a millennial, so when I became an adult, I just really realized how difficult an adult really is, because you're trying to process everything, like I said. But when it comes to our parents, a lot of our parents is like, nah, like I'm gonna live in my trauma and I'm gonna die in my trauma. Not trying to be like that, but they just be like, hey, it is what it is, and I think that's unfortunate because granted that was their survival mechanism. That's how they were able to make it through another day. But at the same time, it was a disservice. I mean, that it's a disservice to me, in my opinion, because when you're set in your ways, you limit your experience. You limit what else God has for you. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that it's just very difficult. But I also extend grace to my parents, because some of them, a lot of them, especially our ancestors, went through traumatic events, traumatic things in their life, and they didn't have no one to talk to. They didn't have all they had was God. All they had was Jesus. All they had was the church. All they had was community. And they may not felt too safe with community because everybody has their own bias. And it was very difficult for them to have a safe space. And I'm grateful that I was able to experience to where I can create my own safe space without feeling like the rug is fit to get snatched from underneath me. And I understand for them it was very, very difficult, because between raising kids, working, dealing with the other family dynamics, and all that comes with it, I'm pretty sure a lot of our parents, some that have experienced life, got lost. They got comfortable and complacent in their survival mode structure. And yes, I'm recording. I just need that hair oil. Okay, but I'm recording and I'm gonna give it to you. Thank you. Shout out to my oldest. One of these days, I'm going to record without having one of my babies interrupt me. But I don't think that's going to happen. So, especially anytime soon. So whatever. Anywho, to my point. Back to the point. For the older parents, they got stuck in their structure. They got stuck in their survival mode structure, and it has helped them to carry on. It has helped them to have a level of thick skin and resilience. And I think that, yes, it's necessary to have thick skin and resilience, but at the same time, we just can't continue on to ignore the big elephant in the room. We can't ignore the purple, pink, blue-eyed elephant in the room, because ultimately this gets passed on to generation after generation after generation after generation, and somebody got to be the one to break it. Someone has to say, this ain't it. And so for me, that's why I turn towards, spirituality, because for me, I grew up in the church. I grew up in the church my whole life. I grew up in the church. And to be honest, the church has really given me a strong foundation, strong principles. It has really kept me out of trouble. It really has balanced me and gave me it just really has kept me, between my grandparents, between my godfather, shout out to Maxwell, shout out to Charity Missionary Baptist Church, because if I wasn't in church, ain't no telling could have happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the environment that I was in. So I'm so grateful that God was able to put good people in my life, good people in my path to get me where I am today. And I'm 1,000,000,000% grateful, because I could have been one of the ones that got washed away in life, but then as I got older, I feel like as I've grown closer to God and my understanding of who God is in my life, spirituality has helped me to expand, to grow. It like spirituality has opened doors to what therapy has done, in a way. If I could try to explain it, but it's allowed me to expand my mind. It allowed me to expand my thinking, not so much in going into dark avenues and tampering with dark energy or stuff that could mess with me, or you know what I'm saying, not none of that. But it has helped me to expand my thinking. It has helped me to gain new concepts, constructs, that can help me to not only survive, but also live life, also to embrace life, also to enjoy life, and not just survive. Prayer has helped me. Journaling helps me. Protecting my energy, learning boundaries. Also understanding the importance of therapy, understanding the importance of shadow work, which is basically unpacking what you went through. Understanding the importance of why healing and growing is necessary. And I'm grateful that I had that set foundation and I was able to build a life off of that, because I'm telling you, it kept me from a life of crime. It kept me, off the streets. It kept me from really, really not the best kind of people. It has really allowed, spirituality has helped me to ground myself in myself, to be anchored in myself, not just in God, because I feel like God wants us to be anchored in ourselves. I think God dwells in me, and because God dwells in me, I am anchored in me. And so I'm able to enjoy life. Yes, I'm able to face my trauma, face my issues, face myself, but also embrace the goodness of life and embrace the blessings that come out of each storm that I've experienced. I've had many, many conversations in my time. In my life, I sound old. In my time, with people that would say, I'm having this, I'm having that. I don't understand why life is going this way for me. I don't understand. And I always say, challenges come not to break you, you know, especially as an adult. If you're an adult, you gonna face some things. And if you haven't faced anything, like my old pastor used to say, keep on saying good morning, because you're gonna face some stuff. Okay. And as you go through life and you understand some things, you want to make sure that you are really anchored into something, whatever that something is. I hope it's in God. I hope it's in something sustainable. I hope it's in something more than anything that is outside, that's going to put you in harm. But yeah, as far as an adult, and I do apologize for hop skipping around, y'all. My ADHD get the best of me. I should get that in a shirt. Like, my ADHD get the best of me, because it does. But yeah, like, so back to the point. Now I'm back to the point, y'all. And not because I just turned this paper, I'm back to the point. Yeah, so when I've had people say to me, they went through stuff, and I tell them, like, challenges that you go through they're not there to just break you. They're there for you to build character, to build your strength, to help you to endure, to help you to get to the next level through your life. And most people stay stuck in a loop or an algorithm that is torturous, because they don't want to do the inner work. They don't want to reflect. They don't want to become self-aware. They don't want to look at things that can challenge them to help them to progress and change their perspective. They just want to stay stuck, be a victim, live in victimhood mentality, blame everybody else and be mad at everybody else. And then, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a disservice to be that way, And I'm glad that I took on my challenges head on. And I'm talking about, I went through some stuff. Like, homegirl was pregnant and homeless. I have faced, I've been homeless a couple times. The worst was when I was pregnant and homeless. I've had COVID. I was on a ventilator fighting for my life. I was in school, and both my grandmothers died while I was in school. I had cancer. I had a breast cancer scare. The list goes on, and like, and I'm so glad that I can laugh at these things, because I laugh because while I've been adulting, I have been just growing and healing. That's my cycle. That's my algorithm. Whenever I go through things and I feel like I'm going to crash out, and don't get me wrong. Oh, and there were moments in my life where I was contemplating, unaliving myself. It's not my proudest moments, but those things that I've went through, everything that I went through, for every moment I had a crash out moment, for every moment that I felt like this is it, this is a wrap, it's up, it's over for me, it's over for your girl, I ain't gonna see the light of day no more, this is it. It was like God saying, no, you still got something in the chamber. You still got something in the tank. You can still go a little further. And I'm grateful for those times where I had people in my corner, people that was praying for me, people that was, popping up on me, people that really held my hand, people that showed me love and, checked up on me and all the things. And when you're going through your process and adulting at the same time, you understand community is so important. And I just pray and hope that, especially within my community, the Black community, I hope that we can continue to grow into a space where we just heal, because ultimately we need one another. Whether we say we don't, we really do need that community. We need to turn to our sisters and say, hey girl, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? And vice versa, and I know that, and that's the part that can get a little tricky because for some people, like I said, they don't have no interest in wanting to heal. They don't have no interest in growing. And really, they just want to use you as a pillowcase. And so that makes it kind of tricky to kind of deal with, because it's like the shards that is broken in them will turn around and cut you, and they'll bleed on you. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it difficult. But ultimately, I would like to hope and pray that within the Black community, we can come to some resolve and heal. But culturally and everybody else, I think that we need that community. We need community. Community is very important. And the best kind of community, because the best kind of community is the part that will keep you, stable when you feel like you're not stable. And again, all that comes with adulting. All that comes with adulting. And so, yeah, it's just the key components for me is always trying to find balance, always trying to evolve, always trying to grow in the best kind of way, making sure I watch the people around me. And also, and I want to say this as well. I'm also learning to be mindful of where I place my energy. Like, when I was younger, if I can go back to my younger years, I would have told Ashley, listen, girl, stop stressing over people. Stop stressing over things. Stop worrying about things that you have no control over, because at the end of the doggone day, it's going to do what it do. And you have to figure out how you going to make it do what it do while it's doing what it's doing. So it don't make no sense in you just stressing out. When I was younger, I had a real strong anxiety. Like, I was just letting every little thing bother me. Like replaying old conversations. Did I say this right? Did I do this right? I was always on my tippy toes and trying to it was just crazy. Like I just put so much on myself when I was younger. And I wish I could just go back in time and just take the bricks off. I'm like, girl, relax. It'll be okay. Like the bill gonna come. Bills are gonna always be in your name until these people throw dirt on your casket. The bills won't stop. So why are you tripping about this light bill, girl? Like, okay, girl, you lost your job. Okay, girl, it is what it is. Just go find another one. I'm knocking on the door of 40, and for me, I'm grateful to where I'm at a point in my life where I just don't be giving no damn. So like, I just be like, hey, it is what it is. And if I could go back to my younger self, I'd ask, it is what it is, baby girl. It's okay. Like, dun dun. It's all right. Like, it's going to be all right. But I think also what I've gathered while adulting and trying to heal is that the most important thing to that process is trying. Keep on trying. Keep trying. When you fall, get back up. When you fall, get back up. When you fall, get back up. When you have a moment, okay, you had a bad day. How that song go? You had a bad day. You dun 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 dun. Don't give me the acting like I know them lyrics, because clearly I don't. But you get what I'm saying. You had a bad day. Like, it's okay. Like things don't work out the way you want them to, which usually happens as an adult. You got to keep it pushing. You got to just know when to not give a damn. Just be like, hey, it is what it is. We gonna push through regardless. Like, I just learned to take a chill pill, because just running around with your head cut off. And I think, again, that was just that survival that I was given. Like, some people survive on anxiety. Some people survive in chaos, and they need that thing to get them to feel important, to put out all them fires. And I'm just like in a place, I'm not. And if it comes off nonchalant, okay, all right. I think maybe it's because I lived a hard knock life. And so I guess the older I'm getting, the more I'm like, hey. it is what it is. It's laxative. All right, we'll get it done. We'll get it done, So, yeah, just don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your process. That's what I tell myself while I'm in my weight loss journey. Like, don't even give up on yourself. Keep going, even though it's difficult, even though it's challenging. But don't talk yourself out of your blessing while you in your process, because that's how some people miss the bus, Gus. Like, they just talk themselves out of their process because it's difficult, it's hard. They would just want to throw up the top. Because I know for me, I've been trying to throw it. Well, not right now in the area of my life, but beforehand, I used to be like, it's over. Oh my God. It's the end. Like, put on Creed. It's over. It's over. I'm falling 6 feet from the edge. It's just, but I've learned that it's okay. It's okay. And how I know it's okay? Because God shows favor. God's favor falls fresh every day. And so I'm grateful that I'm still here. I'm grateful that I'm still able to move, able to be present for those that I'm supposed to be present for. And I'm still growing, and we still kicking it, and we still thriving. Okay. So, with that being said, in closing, whatever season you are in right now, give yourself permission to move through it gently. Give yourself permission to be happy. Give yourself permission to be free, because some of us stay tied to some bullshit longer than we should be. I don't care if it's a job. I don't care if it's people, places, or things. We stay locked into things while we are in our process. And I want you to know it's okay to be free. It's okay to throw your hands up and say, has everybody rode in the ambulance car? It's okay. It's okay. Turn to your neighbor and say, have you rode in the ambulance car? If you have, you made it, right? Yeah. Allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to outgrow people. I felt that one. Hallelujah. I felt it. Not trying to, no disrespect to the religious people, but I felt that one. It's okay to outgrow people. It's okay to free yourself. 1, 2, 3, release. 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 I'm going to pray for some people to get released, or release some people out of their life. It's okay to let go. Let go and what? Let go and what? I know. Let go and let God. Outgrow people. It's okay to outgrow people. It's okay to allow yourself to protect your peace, because that's what God really wants for you to do. Honestly, my relationship with God know my heart. God know what type of character I am, but I can't nobody tell me that I don't know who God is. Can't nobody tell me I don't know who God is, because one thing I do know, God wants the best for you. God wants you to experience the very best, the top tier best. And I think that some people misconstrue what they want with what God wants for them. And they try to gaslight themselves to be a part of something that God does not necessarily agree with, because it just doesn't align with what you truly want. But that's a topic for a whole nother day. We ain't gonna get to preaching in here. But the point is, allow yourself to heal at your own pace. Allow yourself to heal at your own pace. You don't owe. Let me tell you something. I have a good friend. Shout out to Xavier. We had a conversation one time, and it was, how people say things, and it is so simple, but it's so prophetic. It was just a word. Because I was raised that you must forgive people. It's just automatic. You must forgive people. But what my dear friend has taught me was, no, you don't. You don't have to forgive people just to forgive them. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. It's a key to put you in a place of peace. But you don't have to forgive people as of right now. You can take your time and really evaluate and process where you are. Because to be honest, you may not be in the energy of forgiveness. That may not be your ministry at this point, and that's okay. I think the most important thing is being authentic and real and honest with yourself before all else. Because if you're not being honest with yourself and you feel comfortable living a lie, I know for a big fact you might be a little miserable. Anytime I have tried to live a lie, I don't know. To each his own, I suppose, because I don't feel comfortable living a lie. I cannot live a lie. I cannot live out of alignment for too long. It is just so uncomfortable. It's just not my cup of tea. And so forgiveness is part of your healing process. How you choose to process things. If somebody crossed you, if somebody hurt you, you don't have to like forgive them today, tomorrow. You don't have to allow people to be in close proximity to you because they said sorry. Okay, I accept it if you want to, but it's on you. You got to heal at your own pace because you want to make sure that you are very intentional with your process and how you go by things. Because if you do that, you'll be in a much better space and you'll be able to deal with people authentically. I don't have to smile at you and really I don't like you. I was going to say something else, but I don't have to really, put on. So allow yourself to be, allow yourself to do, allow yourself to fully feel what is right for you. And if you do that, I'm telling you, y'all better catch these strings because I'm lacing you up. With that being said, again, thank you all for spending time with your girl here on the Eyam Queen Podcast. And don't forget to protect your peace, honor your growth, and give yourself permission to evolve. And remember, you can trust God, heal your inner child, set boundaries, and what we do, take a nap. Y'all take care. Deuces.